Hey, good morning and happy Friday, Dad Squad. I just got word from Santa, and I wanted to relay to you that because of two things, the weather report and the expected snow later this month, and two, the lack of gratitude in your household, Christmas has been canceled, not coming to your house. Let me ask you something, Dads. How would everybody feel if that was the word that you got this upcoming holiday season? My name is Gideon Dave Newell, and this is the Run With My Son show. We're a bunch of dads who are determined not to let the headwinds of life push us off the path to a lifelong, heart-to-heart relationship with our sons. And we do that through something we call runversations, which are deliberate conversations we have with our sons one-on-one while we're out there being active, doing something together, running. I wanted to say here from the start that I realize not every household like mine is Christian and celebrates Christmas, but gratitude and giving is something that ought to be a year-round practice. It ought to be something that you're training in your kids throughout the year. And I just use the convenience of the season to use this to segue in. Let me also apologize today. Normally I like to throw lots of overlays and graphics at you, but I've been having all kinds of crashes with my beta software. So for that reason, I'm going to have to put a pre-apology here if I accidentally lose the stream, but I'll try to go light on the keys. Let's experiment, shall we, with today's question of the day. I'm going to try to put it up on screen. Hopefully it doesn't break us. We're still here. Great. All right, question of the day. Go ahead and type in the comments for us. What's the one thing you are most grateful for? Put it in 1-2 words tops. Don't want to go crazy here, but yeah, let us know you're here. I see we got a couple of folks saying hi. I'll put Barry here on screen. Hey, Merry Christmas, Barry. And Rachel is disappointed about that Christmas news. Well, hopefully you heard what I followed with, and that is that it was all just a goof. So, with any luck, Santa is still coming. All right. So if you got something you're grateful for throughout the show, I'll leave that on there. Number one, so that you're not going to forget the question of the day. Number two, because I don't want to break the stream. All right. So we talk to our 3 sons in our household pretty routinely about being grateful, because a grateful heart is one that is cheerful and happy. And an ungrateful heart is one that not only is not happy, but one that does not encourage further gifts in the future. So if you want people to continue to be giving to you, you've got to show your gratitude. You know, if you don't express your gratitude, it may as well not be there, right? And those are words that, as an adult, I'm sure you can understand, but it's hard to say what I just said to a kid and hope that they understand even a third of that. So, like in a lot of other lessons we talk about here in the show, one of the best ways you can communicate that is with a story. So, we talked about in an earlier episode, parenting with storytelling, parenting by storytelling, that there's there's 5 stories from your own childhoods, Dad, that you ought to have in your back pocket ready to go at a moment's notice, that you can always share with your children, that's going to illustrate 5 different lessons. And one of those, if you remember, was a story of gratitude. So I'm sure you've got one that you can pull out from your own past. But if you haven't, I've got one that I'll share here at the end of the show. Let me start with one, however, that we probably all do know. And this is Aesop's fable of Androcles and the lion. Your kids, if they haven't heard this one, they're going to love it. So it goes... and I'm going off the top of memory. I'm sure you could look it up on the internet and get all sorts of juicier details than what I've got. But there was a slave named Androcles who managed to escape from his evil master, and he's wandering around in the wilderness, unsure what he's going to do with himself because he knows he's being pursued and hunted, when he stumbles across a lion. And terrified, he tries to run away, but he realizes that the lion actually isn't chasing him, isn't pursuing. So out of curiosity, he turns around and goes back, finds that the lion is nursing a wounded paw, variations of the story, it's a mouse and a lion, and discovers that the lion has got a thorn stuck in his paw. Well, Androcles, out of his compassion, helps the lion, pulls it out, bandages him up, brings him to a safe place, a cave or something, and nurses him to health over the coming weeks. And the two of them form a bond, and the lion's licking him on the face, and you can add all sorts of great details like that, age appropriate to your kids. So a few weeks go by, and the lion is nearly restored to health, and the man's out hunting for some meat to bring back to the lion when he is captured by the authorities, dragged back to the emperor. And of course, at the same time, unbeknownst to Androcles, the same troop of soldiers also discover his lion and bring the lion into custody too. So Androcles is now brought into the arena. His sentence is passed. He is judged to be guilty, and he's going to be executed by being fed to the lion. They throw him out there. And who should be the executioner, the lion, but his new friend who comes out. The two of them, have a great reunion, licking of the face. Happy ending. The emperor is so moved by the heart of Androcles, to help this lion that he listens to the rest of Androcles' story. Normally, the emperor wouldn't deign to listen to Androcles, but when he heard Androcles' side of the story, my evil master was blah, 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 trying to do this. The emperor had compassion and pardoned Androcles, pardoned the lion, and they both, everybody was happily ever after. So that's a story of gratitude. That lion showing gratitude for the kindness that was shown to him was later able to repay that kindness, right, with one of his own. Rather than devour you, which, would have been the lion's right. I'm sure he was pretty hungry, and it was his job. He was supposed to be the executioner after all. He showed gratitude. And by demonstrating to our kids that, gratitude has its rewards. And even in those situations where it doesn't have its rewards, where gratitude is never repaid, it's nonetheless its own reward. All right. Let's bring it down to life, though. Maybe hearing stories, from Aesop or from the Bible. We talked last night at bedtime from Luke 17 about Jesus and the 10 lepers. Everybody realizes that when something amazing is done for you and you neglect to say thank you, that hurts the other person. You can share these stories, but really, let's bring it back down to what some of the dads this week on reflecting about this told me. One dad said it's a heart issue. If gratitude's in your heart, it should be expressed by words and acts. Everything said with the mouth or done with the hands starts in the heart. And I love that. He went on to further say that simply saying thank you when, an adult gives you, inevitably, as will happen in the coming weeks, a Christmas gift, a Hanukkah gift, a birthday gift, the children, if they're old enough, ought to realize that it's polite to say thank you. But this dad pointed out that there's a difference. There's a distinction between courtesy and actual gratitude. Just simply training our kids to always say thank you. I'm not saying that's bad, but that is training them how to be courteous. We don't want it to end with simple courtesy. We want it to also turn into gratitude. So apart from these occasions when they're being showered with gifts, we should be practicing gratitude. So a great practice that we do, at the bedtime routine, we get the kids and we pray together. And I'd say a good 50% of that time is just listing off things we're grateful throughout the day. It was fun. We had fun playing together. It was great playing in the snow yesterday. We're thankful that this weekend we get to travel and go see Grandpa, Grandma, all the cousins, who live on Cape Cod. We've got things that we're saying thankful for that haven't even happened yet. And by doing that routinely, day in and day out, you are training that muscle, right, of gratitude and not simply, anticipating something in return for it. Maybe I've been neglecting my commenters here. Let's see what other sorts have popped up here. I knew one of you dads was going to say this to the question of the day. What he's most grateful for. He's a 15-year-old, and stories need to be based in real life. He's thankful for his son. I can tell you that right now. And yeah, Barry, I think at any age, throwing stories is the way to connect with somebody. It sort of bypasses those mental filters that our mind has. When someone starts telling us a story, our brains, it's brain science, people, we're forced to emotionally relate to them because our brains, hearing a story, places us in the position of the character, the protagonist, and we feel the things they feel and go through the things. So that's a great way. I don't mean to use this in a manipulative way, but in all of your daily interactions, if you use more storytelling, you will bypass people's defenses in a way that 3 hours of logic and arguing your point never will. Tell them a story, get them to relate to something and feel something, And if you've won their emotions over, you've won the battle. I mean, everything else you say is the flourish. Oh, I should have put this one here. Family. Everything else is optional. I agree. I'm grateful for my family, my wonderful wife, my 3 lovely boys, and about a dozen and counting cousins they've got. Rachel is thankful for her hubby, and can't we all say that more frequently about our spouse? Yeah, we'll jump back into our content here. But yeah, if you're watching this, whether live or on the replay, go ahead and put what you're grateful in there. We all need to hear it more often from one another. All right, one of the other dads had some great things to say. Dad, maybe this was a mom. I forgot. She said she uses a few methods to help her child learn real gratitude for what she has. Excuse me. Bit of a bug. I'll point it away from the microphone so I don't infect you. She sees people who have so little, and it helps her realize how much she has. So everyday object lessons, as we go about. Yesterday I was out at night, and it was so super cold where I was that it just sparked in my mind, wow, there are people who don't have a house to go to like I do, and they're scrambling from night to night to night, wondering where it is. I imagine the hassle of having to figure out on a nightly basis, where am I going to go to sleep tonight or to stay warm? And telling that in an age-appropriate way to your kids makes them realize that what they've got is actually a lot. Yeah, maybe they don't have, ABC toy that they're looking for, but you've got something better. You've got a family, and even if some of these things are lacking in your house, even if you are one of those families that, hasn't got the place to go tonight, you've got one another. You've always got something that you can remember and be grateful for. And we should be expressing that with our kids, teaching that. Mom here goes on further to say, I also take away things. Oh, no, this wasn't a mom. This was a dad. I'm remembering now. I also take away things that she's ungrateful for when her behavior warrants. So we do some of this too in our household. Arguing and fighting over something we just gave you. We'll remove that from the scene. And I think I need to step up my take it away game, because it's always the same privilege that we dive into and cut back. Whenever there's misbehavior, the threat is that tomorrow's screen time is going to be reduced. And that has been effective. But, more often than not, they show some repentance, they show some humility, and they end up getting it back anyway. So I'm sort of, mentally sort of going through my mind, what should I be doing here? So I'm eager, if you've got some feedback on that, dads, to go ahead and share that on the page or here on the comments of the video. Has that worked, and where is that coming from? Is it coming from your own reaction, emotion, anger, just indignation? I just gave you something great and you're not showing gratitude. That's it. I'm taking this. I mean, if it's coming from the wrong place, if it's an emotional reactionary removal, I don't think it goes as far as an actual sit-down lesson in a story. I somehow think that the second will connect better. But yeah, like I say, I'd love to hear more. All right, and did I promise something else here? Oh, I had a great video that I'm not able to show because I don't want to break the stream. But you all remember, if you are a child of the 70s, 80s, 90s, like I'm one of those 3 decades, I won't spill it. But anyway, you remember seeing the public service announcement put on TV for the national campaign, public awareness, anti-drug campaign, where the dad with his mustache, oh, such a great video, I want to share it. Anyway, he comes in and, he wants to know, where did these come from? He found the drugs in his son's room. Where did you learn how to do this? And his son reacts with, I learned it from you, Dad, okay? All right, so there's my impression of an ad we all know. That ad demonstrates more clearly than anything I've said in these last 10 minutes or so what we ought to be doing. We need to model what gratitude looks like. So first and foremost, and it's something I probably say each and every week, we need to be leading the way. If we want to teach gratitude, we've got to show gratitude. So little thank yous each and every day. Thank you for helping me put that away. Oh, thank you. You made this? Oh, it's terrific. Thank you for allowing me to help you with this. Even if, maybe you're not 100% grateful right now to be interrupted from whatever you were doing to go, attend to your child. Nonetheless, thank them for that because they opened their heart to bring you into their world, their moment. So use that language, model that behavior, and you'll see it come back. All right, well, I'm not going to throw the graphic up here out of fear that I'm going to break something, but dads, if you haven't got a routine scheduled one-on-one time with each of your kids each week, you're missing out on a great way to connect with them. We like to say a one-on-one time without any siblings or mom, and maybe now with the weather changing, it's going to have to find its way to an indoor track or something. But we go on Saturday morning runs, and it's a great time to bond, but it's also a great time for our health also. And if you're struggling, looking for a way you can find this one-on-one time, I couldn't suggest a better thing to go for a run. And we've got a free training plan, which my graphic would be showing you right now how to get it, but I'll have to explain it to you instead. You need only type the words training plan in the comments if you're watching on Facebook, and we'll send that straight to you. Otherwise, you can go to our website, runwithmyson.com, grab the training plan. It's unique to kids, teaches kids how to train from no matter what point of readiness they're at now, from couch to 5K, you'll be ready to run in a 5K road race together. And what an achievement that'll be that you'll get to share. So if you need a place to start, grab that training guide. All right, well, next week we are going to be on the air. We will be live next Friday. I know we're closing in on the Christmas holiday. We don't take breaks around here. So you'll see us next Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And then the following Friday we are going to take a break. So, but I promise, if you're on the nice list and you're not on the naughty list, dads, I'll drop some pre-recorded content on you the following Friday. But we will be here next Friday. You can find us 10:30 a.m. and by all means, find that one-on-one time this week, dads, to go out and take your father-son team to victory. All right, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Hey, I hope you got some terrific value from that video. If you did, I invite you to hit the subscribe button to get notifications of all of our new videos. You're also welcome to watch one of our popular back episodes, and you can always visit our website, runwithmyson.com, for a free couch to 5K training plan that you can run together with your son.